Hello everyone, in this video we'll be studying about the design of keys. So key is a machine element which is used to connect the shaft and some parts so that power transmission is happening between the shaft and the connected parts. So the connected parts may be a gear or a pulley or a coupling or a sprocket, anything can come. So for that we'll be using the element to connect between these two, which is known as key. So here in this figure you can see a gear and here a cut is given. So this is actually given for the inserting key, and this shaft will be making or it will be getting into this gear, and the connection between shaft and this gear is made with the use of this element called a key. So for inserting key, a key seat or the slot will be cut on both surface of shaft as well as the key, so that it can make a perfect contact between these two elements. So whenever shaft is rotating, so that rotation or the torque or the power will be transmitted to the element connected. Here it is gear through the help of this key. So it is used for transmitting the power. So this is showing the cross-sectional view. So this central element is the shaft and it is connected with the hub portion. It may be hub is actually the portion of the mounted member which is in contact with the shaft. And so key is coming here. Half portion of the key will be coming within the shaft and remaining will be coming within the hub portion, so that power transmission will be occurring. So here we will be studying the design. So here we have to study only the design of sunk key. Sunk key means whenever a key is inserted into a keyway such that which is partly lying in shaft and the remaining part is in the hub, then this key is known as sunk key. So here we will be studying the design of this sunk keys. So here you can see two types of sunk key. Left one is showing the square sunk key where the width and height of the keys B and H are equal, and here this is known as rectangular sunk keys, which where the B and H are different values. B is greater than H, and the other dimension of key is the length of this key which is getting inserted into the shaft. So the slot length will be equal to this shaft the key length. So here we have to find the dimensions of this B, H and L. So here in the case of keys which are connected to this shaft, we have to calculate the force which is acting on the keys. So we know that this is transmitting power or torque. So the torque T will be acting onto this one. So as a result of torque, this power will be transmitted to the element through keys. So as a result, some force will be acting at this interface. So we have to calculate the force which is acting. This force is known as the tangential force acting on the key. So here we have to evaluate the tangential force on these keys. So if you are looking, the distance between the key position to center of the shaft is actually the radius of shaft or the diameter by 2. So you can evaluate the torque as F into D by 2. So from this you will be getting the tangential force acting on key as 2T divided by D. So this is actually the tangential force acting on the key with respect to the torque transmitted and the diameter of the shaft. So this will be used for designing. So the failure of keys will be occurring when this applied torque or this transmitted force F is exceeding a critical value. So according to which two types of failure we will be taking. One is known as failure due to shear and the other one is known as failure due to crushing. So this transmitted force this F will be causing the key to fail in two ways. One is by shearing across this plane and another one by crushing or this compressive stress which is occurring in the one part. So this half portion is coming within the shaft and this remaining half is coming within the hub portion. So this half portion will be getting compressed and this is known as compressive stress or the crushing stress. So we will be designing the keys according to both of this failure. So first we will be seeing the failure due to shear. So if key is failing by shear, then this F will be the force which is the shear force which tries to shear the key across this section. So this will be getting into two parts. So if I am evaluating, so this H by 2 is coming in the shaft, B is the width and L is the length of the key. Then this sheared cross section you can see here, or one part of the sheared key part or element you can see here. So this top red hatched portion is actually giving you the shear area across which the shear have occurred. So you can find the shear area as L into B. So shear force is there, shear area is there. You can evaluate the shear stress which is shear force by area F by LB, and you can substitute force in terms of torque and diameter of the shaft. So this will be getting 2T divided by dLB. So you can rewrite it as torque equal to half into tau. Tau is actually the shear stress occurred, and this will fail when the shear stress in the key is lesser than the or whenever it is becoming greater than the allowable shear strength of the key material. So here I am writing the expression for the torque transmitted, and this equation you can find in the page 62 of your data book, which is equation 4.58. So this is the failure due to shear and its corresponding equation. Now we will be seeing the next. So next one is failure due to crushing. We already seen what is crushing or the compressive stresses. So here you can see the area which is coming or undergoing this crushing force. So crushing area you can evaluate from this one or see from this one, which is h by 2 into L. So you can calculate the crushing stress, which is actually a compressive normal stress. Sigma C I will be calling, and sigma C equal to force F divided by crushing area h by 2 into L, and you can replace F by in terms of torque and D. So then it will be becoming 2T by D into h by 2 into L. So you can rewrite sigma C as 4T divided by DHL, and this key will fail whenever this compressive stress induced in the shaft is becoming greater than the allowable crushing strength or compressive strength of this key material. So here I am rewriting this expression in terms of torque, which will be getting 1 by 4 into sigma C into DHL. So this equation you can find in equation 4.4b in page number 62. So see, these are the two equations which are corresponding to the two failure modes for this keys. So we'll be making use of this equation and we'll be solving a simple problem. So here we have a simple problem for rectangular key used on a 50 mm diameter shaft. So the shaft diameter is 50 mm and the width of the key is 14 mm and thickness is 9 mm, that is B equal to 14 and H equal to 9 mm, and it is transmitting a power of 40 kilowatt at 300. So from this expression we will be calculating the torque transmitted. So power transmitted is equal to 2 pi nt divided by 60. So here power is actually 40 kilowatts, so it is 40 into 10 raised to 3, and N is 300 rpm. So you can substitute and find the value of torque. So here you will be getting the torque as 1270 Newton meter you will be getting here. So this torque will be used for calculating the key parameters. So here we have to determine here question is to determine the length of the key if allowable shear stress as well as crushing stresses are or the property of the key material are given. So according to which we have to find the length of the key. So for this we will be considering both failure modes. First we will be considering the failure due to shear. So equation we already seen, or you can see in the data book also. So this torque you are having, so this torque is 1270 Newton meter in SI units. Right side shear stress, allowable shear strength of the key material is given, which is 56 megapascal or 56 into 10 raised to 3. Length of the key you have to evaluate. So B is given as 14 mm, or it is equal to 14 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter, and the diameter of the shaft is given. Diameter of the shaft is 50 mm, so it is 50 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. All substitute units are in SI unit. Then this will be finally giving the length of the shaft in meters, and later you can convert into mm. So if you are solving, you will be getting 0.0648 meters. This is equivalent to 64.8 mm you will be getting. So this is the length of the shaft according to the first failure mode, that is failure due to shear, 64.8. In a similar way you can solve this expression also. So this T is same as 1270 Newton meter. The sigma C value is the allowable crushing strength, which is 168 into 10 raised to 6 pascal. So this is into 10 raised to 3, 56 megapascal, sorry. And here diameter is again 50 mm, so it is 50 into 10 raised to minus 3. H is given, H is the width of height of the key, which is 9 mm, so it is 9 into 10 raised to minus 3. Then you will be getting finally the length of the shaft here. So you will be getting in meters. Here it is 0.0672 meter, which is equivalent to 67.2 mm. So this is the answer according to the second failure mode. So two answers we are having. One is 64.8 mm and the other one is 67.2 mm. So final key length is, you will be taking the maximum length and which is equal to 67.2 mm, and you will be standardizing this one. So or the standard length of the key, you will be taking the next value, that is 68 mm will be the length of the key required. So this is a simple problem. So hope you understood, and thanks for watching.